Trig graph discovery level 1. We're asked to write the equation of the trigonometric graph. Well, let's remind ourselves of the general form. A, we have cosine here. This is for cosine and sine. Bx plus d plus c. This is our midline. It moves it up and down. This is our x phase shift. It moves it left and right. This is our b value, which has to do with period. And then a is our amplitude. So as we see here, we got amplitude, we got effects on period, and we got effects on midline. All right, so that would be where the c would go. That would be where the b would go. And then there's the a. So let's take a look at what we have. All right, so for this one, notice that everything is pretty much behaving the same at maximum, at minimums, at maximums, and at intersection points. So that means the period does not change. So no change in period. No change in period. Notice where the midline is at. The midline is going through a 0. That's a y equals 0. So our midline is 0. That's our midline. And then lastly is an amplitude. Amplitude is how high it goes. So it went from 1 to 2. So its amplitude, and notice it's the same on top and on bottom. The amplitude is 2. The amplitude is 2. So that's our amplitude, is how high or low is it from the midline. So that would be a 2 there. So all we have to do is fill that in. 2, 1, and 0. And then let's see. Answer it all and try. All right, and there it goes. It fits right on it. Okay, submit answer. So you can also kind of experiment. That's what the discovery method means. But basically, if you can, using the generalized form of a trig graph to match it is your best strategy. Let's look at the next one. Got cosine again. A cosine, always rewrite it. It helps. Bx plus d, that has to be in parentheses, plus c. Midline, x phase shift, period effect, and our amplitude up and down. Okay, so notice there is no change in period. We have a maximum and an intersection at every similar spot. All right, and it looks like what happened is it moved down, right? So what affects things that go down? That would be your midline. Midline is also a y phase shift. So it moved up and down on the y-axis, basically. All right, so to find our midline, we're averaging the maximum and minimum of what we need. So the maximum is -2. The minimum is -4, so we're going to average that. So it's the max plus min divided by 2 for our midline. And this is y equals. So y equals, our max is -2. Plus our minimum is -4, divided by 2 is -6 divided by 2, or -3. Y equals -3 is our midline. And nothing else has changed. So that means there's no change in amplitude. The amplitude is 1. That's 1 unit, so just kind of reminding yourself. There's no change in period. It's not going faster or slower. So that's a 1 also. And then our midline is -3. 1, 1, -3. And then it moves it on down. Okay, there we go. And just a change in amplitude. So it looks like the rest are going to be similar. Change in midline again. Are there doing any changes on period? I'm not seeing any changes on period. Let's see, amplitude and midline. So this has both of them. Midline first, then amplitude. No change in period. And midline and amplitude again, no change in, are we changing in period? Maximum, minimums at the same? Nope, no change in period. So everything looks to be the same for these problems.